consider adopting revised schedule of fees to include garbage sale permit fee.
Madam President, at our regular council meeting held June 19th, the council adopted an ordinance addressing garage sales. Part of that ordinance was to include a fee for garage sale permits. Administration has prepared a revised fee schedule. I will not read through everything that's on there, but there is one change, that is to add a garage sale permit fee of $3, which is, I would like to move that the Village of Beverly Hills Council adopt the revised fee schedule to include garage sale permit fees as a result of adoption of ordinance number 340 regulating garage sales.
I support the resolution of Councilman Briggs.
We have a motion or a resolution that's been supported. Any comments from council on this? Mr. Mooney.
I have a question for administration, if I may address them directly, Madam President. Where'd you come up with $3? I just am curious. I mean, was this something?
$3 is also the fee that we charge for the registration in the annual village-wide garage sale. Where we provide signs.
That works for that. It makes perfect sense to me then.
Any other questions or comments from council? Mr. Mooney.
Question for the administration also, if I may. The other fees listed in this fee page, I'm assuming have not changed. Is that correct?
The last update to this, I believe it stated, was September of 2008. These fees have not changed in quite some time.
But have the water fees changed with the?
Yes, this is not the amount that you can charge for water usage. These are service and connect fees.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the clarification.
Any other questions from council on this? Questions from the public?
I just wondered, would that include grows, because we do an annual garage sale?
This was covered at our last meeting.
I'll kick in the $3 for gross. Madam President.
Sir, if you'd like to come to the podium and state your name and address, it would be appreciated. Thank you.
I'll kick in for Berkshire too.
Lauderdale. I don't know if it's the appropriate time. If you're actually voting on the actual amendment right now or an amendment to the amendment.
The ordinance has already been passed.
The ordinance has already been passed.
Yes.
Right, we passed the ordinance. This is just setting a fee.
Oh, I had no idea that the ordinance had already been passed.
Yes.
Yeah, and if you weren't familiar with what the ordinance said, we have the village-wide garage sale that everybody can participate. They come into the village offices, and the ordinance is now written where a resident, it covers estate sales, group sales, 2 other times a year. And then they have to come in and pull a permit from the village offices.
I must have misunderstood from what was posted online at the village council website and from a councilor who's not currently present this evening that this ordinance or this amendment hadn't actually passed yet, and that was going to be taking place this evening.
No, actually, I believe it was passed at the last council meeting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was passed.
Yes.
That's certainly not what the impression I got as a resident from watching. I was just made aware of this absolutely abhorrent amendment just recently. It's a shame. I had that impression, and I did see the council of a village councilor, and I was told that had not been passed yet, and it would be voted on this evening. So I'm quite confused.
Yeah, there must have been some misunderstanding that we were going to have the fee that they came up with. If I'm not mistaken, and Mr. Wilson, please correct me if I am, but I believe that we announced the public hearing and we had 2 readings of the ordinance and then we voted on it.
Correct. And
so it came before us 3 times already, and this was just to set the fee tonight up with
right,
that.
With all due respect, Madam President, I don't have all day to pay attention
oh, yeah,
to
no.
affairs, and when something comes to my attention and I disagree with it or agree with it, I will come and support it or oppose it. And I was of the understanding that this had not actually passed yet.
No, I apologize if anybody gave you that information. I apologize.
If I may speak on an amendment that's passed.
Absolutely.
I think it's atrocious that this council passed that. It's an affront to private property rights. It's an infringement on our private property and what we do lawfully on our private property. It's an attempt at taxation and creating a levy on otherwise lawful activity. And I think this council should be ashamed of itself for passing such a levy. We do have a constitution in this country. I question whether such a levy may infringe on the 14th Amendment taking clause. We've crossed over into a whole new realm of the village council stepping onto our private property and deciding what we can and can't do lawfully, what we have to apply for a permit for, what we have to ask the village council for permission to do on our property. And I think that's absolutely disgusting. It's abhorrent. And most people would say garage sale, well, what's your big beef? Well, my thing is I just found out about it today. And, you know, everybody has their moment where they decide that's their issue. That's the moment they're going to stop being silent. Silence is consent. And I don't consent to this council, this democratically elected council, stepping onto my private property and deciding what I can do and what I can't do. I read the preamble to the amendment. It said it's a public safety hazard concern. It's the most ridiculous and obscene thing I've ever read. I mean, you stop just short of saying the children, what about the children, to assure you that getting past it has nothing to do with public safety. I've gone around our neighborhood. I've never had a garage sale, by the way. I want that to be noted. I don't intend on ever having a garage sale. I don't need to. It's not my thing, but I've been to garage sales in our community, and I've never seen them or viewed them as a public nuisance, a public safety hazard, a hazard to anybody. They don't cause any traffic delays. I've gone down streets where multiple garage sales are going on. This is just an attempt at small government, our small size government, stepping onto my private property rights. And I think that's absolutely shameful. I think that somebody, and I'm only speculating, somebody probably got a complaint, somebody's garage sale was too loud, or whatever. And that's how it happens. I understand that's how it happens. I don't think any counselor woke up one day and went, I hate garage sales. I really don't believe that happened. But what's next? I mean, I don't want to get into political cliches, but what's next? What's the slippery slope? Are you going to make us get permits so our children can play because they might be a public nuisance? That's obscene. It's absurd. And I think you should all be ashamed of yourself for not really thinking about that. Really ashamed of yourself. You've set a precedent. You've set a precedent against our private property rights. It's our property, not yours. If I want to sell my goods or my own personal possessions on my property, I should be allowed to. I shouldn't have to go and ask the village council permission to do something on my property. We used to have a constitution in this country and just put an end to it in our village. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments on that?